fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver. The Lone Ranger.
Good morning. I'd like to exercise my First Amendment right as an American to speak freely about a super important topic to me, and I'm hoping by standing up and speaking out I can hopefully affect others to join me in freely expressing their views and bringing about a positive change. And the problem with that is that when you're sitting here listening to and looking at a person that's wearing glasses and a mask where you don't even know who the hell they are, something just doesn't sound right about saying, hey, I want to use my First Amendment right to free speech to make a statement. And I'm only bringing it up because all night long I was watching what was going down at UCLA with the protesters and the police, shutting it all down. And you know what? My hat's off to the police. They actually did a really good job, because there really wasn't any violence. And see, that's the whole thing. Is the Lone Ranger? He wore a mask, and he was a good guy, but it was actually kind of confusing to people because they didn't really understand why he wore a black mask, because usually that would be a bad guy that would wear a mask. And you know what? They even made the Lone Ranger, who was played by Gene Autry back in the day, wear a white hat, and he had this horse Trigger that was like a golden horse. So, and everything, and his clothes were kind of white or gray, but everything about the Lone Ranger said, I'm a good guy, except his mask. Whereas, see, these protesters, and I would say people on the left, when they're exercising their free speech, they love to just put on a mask and glasses so you don't know who the heck they are. And I'll tell you what, the mob, they don't want you to see their face. And I thought it was actually a good thing that the police, as they were shutting everything down, what they were doing for a while is, as they were putting the handcuffs, the hand ties on these protesters who were protesting illegally, and there was nothing peaceful about their protest. But you'll notice that that's a sign there's something wrong. Just like me trying to make a statement as an American, all masked up. An American would show his face. But the police were taking the masks and the glasses off and letting the cameras show the faces of these people, and they looked confused and frightened. But the Lone Ranger, he had that issue too. But he was just one guy fighting all the forces of darkness. And back in those days, what's funny is on those shows, I don't even think the bad guys were wearing masks because they didn't have the internet, and photography was just kind of getting going. So if anything, you might have like some rickety old wanted poster floating around. But I don't think most of the bad guys even worried about masks. But it's kind of crazy what's going down, and I think there's still more ahead. And masks are kind of interesting because we all had to put on the masks. And I would tell you what, just like when COVID was going on, there was certain high-level government officials that it was kind of like, do as I say, not as I do, and they would tell us to put the masks on, but then they would not be wearing the masks. Well, where we're at, the end times or just the times we're in, one of the things that's happening, that's going down, that involves masks, is we're living in a time where the people in charge can control everything we say, hear, and do through computers, man. And in a weird way, like the same people that are going to force us to put masks back on, that wear masks, the left, in these supposed peaceful protests, they also wear the masks when the left is doing the flash mob robs, like 100 people crash in a store and rob everything. They're all wearing masks too. But, you know, the time we're in, that's a way to kind of go against the system is you know, don't show your face, because there's facial recognition software. Heck, I use some apps that use facial recognition software, so believe me, I can kind of see a point of wearing a mask, you know, to, you know, not be known. But I'm going to just call it the left, but the radicals, the nefarious elitists, they would force us to put masks on, but ultimately they don't want us wearing masks because they want to know who you are, you know, so they can come get you if they want to. So what's kind of weird about it all is I'll just predict right now, when they force us to put masks on, at the same time they're going to say, hey, you know what, in order to have a safe society, you also got to have like a chip implanted, you know, because we need to track you. We need to know, you need an identification number, and we need to know who and where and what you are doing at all times. And, you know, that's another, you know, path that everybody, that's where the rubber meets the road, you know, and you know, I'm not even going to tell you where I stand on that. But I just think it's an interesting dynamic, and, you know, of course, World War III is kind of, you know, going on, but it's still escalating every day. And Joe Biden, you know, I didn't see him come out last night. Biden is in hiding. That's how he operates, you know. So, you know, what for those protesters, it was time to face the music, because as they pulled the masks off, they let the cameras show who they are. And, you know, that's where the beginning of accountability comes in, you know, because there's no accountability behind a mask. All right, I'm just going to wrap up this video. I don't want to make them too long, but, you know, hey, may you be blessed. May your eyes be opened. And, you know, don't believe everything you see, hear, or say, you know. All right.